This is Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight. Treat yourself to an all-new season of E.T. starting Monday, September 13th. Go to etonline.com for where to watch.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. The only way this pandemic will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week on RocketGrabPlus.com, we not only have one, but 4 different deals from the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon for half off. You can use the infrared sauna for only $7.50. Get a Versa Spa spray tan for only $17.50. Use the KBL Level 6 tanner for only $16.50. You can also get a $20 gift certificate to the boutique for only $10. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 70 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. Officials have detected the first evidence of West Nile virus in mosquitoes in Bangor Township. In response, Bay County Mosquito Control said extensive control efforts will take place in the area to reduce adult and larval mosquito populations. Rebecca Brandt, Bay County Mosquito Control Manager, said as our program is responding with increased surveillance and control efforts throughout the area, residents are strongly encouraged to take appropriate measures to protect themselves from mosquito bites. There have not been any human cases of the virus reported in Michigan this year. Brandt said statistically only 2 people in 10 who are bitten by an infected mosquito will experience any illness, which is usually mild and includes fever, headache, and body aches. About 1 in 150 people suffer serious illness, such as encephalitis and meningitis. To help determine the extent of the virus in Bay County, residents should contact Mosquito Control to report dead crows or blue jays for testing. Protect yourself from mosquito bites as the state confirms it is also having its first case of triple E in 2021.
Eastern equine encephalitis, or triple E, was found in a horse in Livingston County. The virus is transmitted by mosquitoes to both animals and people, so it's important to protect yourself from mosquito bites. Triple E is typically seen in late summer to early fall each year in the state. It's one of the most dangerous mosquito-borne diseases in the U.S., with a 90% fatality rate among horses that become ill and a 33% fatality rate among humans who get sick.
The Michigan State Police Computer Crimes Unit Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force has announced the arrest of 2 Saginaw County residents for possession of child sexually abusive material and using a computer to commit a crime. Both were arrested following investigations in which digital evidence was seized from their homes. The investigations were initiated when it was learned the men were viewing files of child sexually abusive material on the internet. 22-year-old Alfred Reed of Shields has been charged with 5 counts of possession of child sexually abusive material and 5 counts of using a computer to commit a crime. 18-year-old John Anderson of St. Charles has been charged with 2 counts of possession of child sexually abusive material and 2 counts of using a computer to commit a crime. Both men have been arraigned in 70th District Court. WSGW News Time, 9:08.
Jim Wilson, this is really exciting. You're offering nice used vehicles at what some say are wholesale prices. What's going on here?
We're having a month-end closeout event. Our goal is to sell 30 used vehicles this Monday and Tuesday, August 30th and 31st.
What's really amazing is the selection. I mean, we're not talking about a few vehicles. You have acres of pre-owned vehicles, all inspected and ready to go.
We have lots of low-mileage, like-new trucks, SUVs, and cars. Lots of certified pre-owned vehicles with 100,000-mile warranties, several vehicles under $10,000, and a few good old wood haulers.
Escapes, Explorers, F-Series trucks, 4x4s, Chevys, Jeeps, they're all road-ready and priced to sell. Jim, is anything being held back?
Absolutely not. All used vehicles are included. It's happening this Monday and Tuesday only, and value received for dollars spent. No one beats these deals.
You'll be amazed by the outstanding selection. You'll be astonished by the incredible savings this Monday and Tuesday only at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store.
WSGW News Time, and now at 9:09. While the top Republicans in the state legislature is calling for the director of Michigan's Unemployment Insurance Agency to be removed, House Speaker Jason Wentworth says Director Lisa Estlund Olson skipped a meeting with auditors who talked about failures that led to the agency failing a federal monitoring report. Wentworth also claims the agency still has a backlog of 20,000 unpaid Michigan workers 18 months into the pandemic and 10 months into the director's tenure. Estlund Olson has served as acting director of the agency since last November. Have you suffered from pandemic brain? Turns out a lot of us have. More from MNN's Jason Scott.
29% of the population nationwide suffered from boredom during the thick of the pandemic. A new survey by Spider Solitaire Challenge found that here in Michigan, 54% of respondents were victim to pandemic brain, an overall decline in your cognitive abilities. Most respondents believing Generation Z, those born between 1996 and 2010, as being the people missing out the most during social isolation. Now, on top of the boredom, chronic stress, which a lot of us have been suffering from, has also been linked to shrinking of the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, memory, and learning.
The preseason comes to an end for the Lions tonight, a final chance to answer some nagging questions about the roster and the team. MNN's Tony Ortiz reports.
Right now, it's fair to say about 80% of the spots on the Lions' opening day 53-man roster looks to be set. That makes tonight's contest against the Indianapolis Colts a critical game for players that are battling to make the roster. It's also another chance for head coach Dan Campbell to figure out which players will play key roles when the Lions line up against the San Francisco 49ers for their regular season opener next month.
I think they're still trying to figure out who's the best lineup in these spots, and more than anything, let's figure out what the individual can do and what he looks like. And then by process of elimination, now we'll know what our best lineup is. But look, you guys know this. You've been doing it long enough. Special teams is going to be a huge part of this selection process for us on the 53.
For the Michigan News Network, I'm Tony Ortiz.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9/11. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Mostly cloudy for today, showers and storms in the area. Highs will top out near 86 degrees. Winds east-northeasterly 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight it remains mostly cloudy, chance for more showers and storms. Lows drop to 70. Winds turn to the southeast 5 to 10. Saturday some sunshine could develop. Shower and storm chances continue. Highs approach 91. Winds turn to the southwest 5 to 15, higher gusts possible. And then any showers and storms and early on Saturday night. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now it's 69.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, happy Friday. You've made it through the week, and we're glad to have you with us here on the Art Lewis Show. I'm Bill Hobson, filling in for Art. My final day this week. It's been a blast talking with all of you all week long. Now, in my world, each evening I fall asleep with the sound of a thunderstorm going from my iPad to kind of just put me to sleep. And man, last night that got real. I think I had the volume up a little bit loud. So, your lawn needed it. The golf courses needed it. So we have a little bit of a rainy start to the weekend, but we're glad to have you with us as this morning we visit with a number of guests. Right off the top, we want to say good morning and welcome into the CEO of Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, Dan Streeter, who came in carrying some interesting looking boxes. We'll get to that a little bit later. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. You mentioned about going to sleep with certain sounds.
Yeah.
I play Michigan Golf Live podcast to go to sleep.
Is that right? I hear that. I've been told over the years that we can address insomnia like no other program, and so I'm going to start selling subscriptions for sleep aid. Man, is he off to a bad start? This is not going to go well. Hey, yesterday was a really cool time of celebration at Rescue Ministries Mid-Michigan. We had a great gathering downtown at the Saginaw City Rescue Mission where a ribbon was cut, and that's why we wanted to have you in today sort of to celebrate. So let everybody know what's transpiring in the newest addition to the family of services.
So you would have heard over the last couple of years about our plans to be able to start up a part of the ministry called Impact Designs. Yeah. And we started with some brainstorming and strategic planning in 2018. And then we went ahead and launched a capital campaign, raised $600,000. A lot of local foundations helped to get that campaign started. And then obviously COVID hit in the middle of all this, and that slowed down some of the actual construction. But we were able to, even despite all that, to officially complete the building and open up the doors officially in February. But we weren't able to have a celebration because we were still really in the high midst of all the COVID issues. And so we felt like we needed to bring all the donors together and let them see firsthand the impact that they are able to have and how we're able to successfully launch this branch of the ministry. And so we had an outdoor event yesterday, opened up the warehouse and let people see all their investment and how we're helping to change lives right now. So officially February 1st we opened, but we've helped 10 families so far with helping to get them into permanent housing. And our tagline is called Helping Home Happen. We literally are trying to get a family who's moving out of shelter all the material goods they need. Right now, if somebody goes into an apartment, they don't have the microwave. They don't have a bed for their kid. Their kid is maybe in a sleeping bag, definitely with blankets on the floor, pressing seam. And so we want to totally flip that around and help with teamwork and volunteerism and help create a warm event, family building event when somebody moves into permanent housing.
The idea for Impact Designs, as you said, has been a couple of years in the making. And that's one of the reasons that yesterday was so fun. I know that the program has launched, but the ribbon was cut yesterday. I've been able to be on site for some of the move-in days. They're powerful experiences, not only for the people who are moving into the home and get to live there and have their first ever feel of home, but really also for the volunteers that are part of that effort. So take us through sort of the process from A to Z that leads to move-in day, because there's a lot that leads into that.
So day one is someone comes to the shelter experiencing homelessness. And then from that moment, we're working with them to try to help get them to sustainability. It might be with helping them find a housing voucher or housing rental assistance, life skill classes, all these things you're building, and it takes probably about 30 to 45 days to get all those pieces together. And then once finally they get all those pieces together, then they can start the housing search. And that itself is a difficulty and can be a nightmare. There's such a lack of affordable housing in this region. And so trying to find a place that you can afford and that will and accept the housing assistance. And so then finally we find that the lease is signed, and then they start to meet with our impact design coordinating team. And so they sit down with the family and go through an interview. What do you have? Okay, you already have a microwave, that's great, but you don't have anything else. And so then we're going to help them with linens and the furnishings and the plates and help get their bathroom set up and window coverings, all those types of things. And the design team is also asking, okay, what's the ages of your kids and what are your color schemes? What superheroes do they like? All those types of things.
And then the design team goes to the apartment, does the measurements, then comes back, puts it in a program, figures where everything's going to go. This is where the couch will go. This is how we'll set up the dining room. And they put that whole plan together. They go into the warehouse. They start picking out all the items. They also even make some items because they're trying to make sure that every move-in is a personalization, making sure that it's something for that family or that individual. And then they load up the truck. They go to the apartment. The family or the individual doesn't have to move a single thing. In fact, we don't want them on site because we want to do like what you used to see on ABC, the big makeover and the big reveal.
Yeah, move that truck kind of a thing.
Exactly.
You know, and we've been there for those moments where especially those with children get to take it all in. Normally what happens is there's a lot of tears from mom and dad, and the kids are so excited. And for whatever reason, the first thing they seem to do is run in and start jumping on their beds.
That's exactly what they do. You know, but the other part is this makes me think about it. When's the last time or have they ever had a bed?
Right. It's a big deal.
So it is an amazing deal to be able to do this for the families, for them to have a dresser, to be able to put their clothes in, for them to be able to, all those items. It just blows me away.
We were talking with a lady who was with us yesterday at that ribbon cutting. She talked about how in her own family, in her own home, they were remodeling their kitchen and how excited she was. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, and how much more exciting would it be if you've never had a kitchen? And that's sort of what the Impact Designs delivery is. And I also want to make sure that we make it perfectly clear to people that the home that they're moving into, the family's responsible for this home. This is not like the mission is providing a home for them. That's an important distinction to make.
Correct. We come alongside with them to help them make sure that they can help sustain it. We're helping to educate them towards that, but it is totally their home, and they are financing it, or they're helping to secure the housing assistance. We help drive them to and from potential apartment sites. We've got a housing placement specialist that's working alongside of them to make sure they make good choices, to help them with making good choices. But after it's all said and done, it's their responsibility. It's their lease. But we also do home follow-up visits for the next 12 months. This is part of what they sign on with the program. So we can come back and find out, hey, how are things going? What gaps were created that wasn't anticipated? And so then that way we can continue to troubleshoot so they can stay in that home. So what we've seen historically, because there's a similar program down in the Pontiac area that we had learned about. So when individuals just move out of the shelter and move into housing, there's about a 50% success rate that they will stay housed after 1 year. But if you bring along all of these wraparound services and you help home happen like we do with Impact Designs, then that success rate goes up to 95%. So it's just amazing. That little bit of time of an investment can have huge rewards.
Folks, I want you all to be aware of something. The goal of Rescue Ministries is not for a family to stay at Rescue Ministries forever and ever. That's not their home. It's to get them back on their feet. And that's one of the things that Impact Designs helps accomplish, along with the other aspects of ministry at the rescue mission that help prepare families for life back in their communities. And we'll talk more about that here in a moment as we continue on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Dan Streeter's our guest in studio. Bill Hobson here in for Art Lewis.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Why has Crane's L&M Appliance Center been serving the area for 65 years? Customer satisfaction. Hi, I'm Eric Crane.
And I'm Kelly Crane.
Here at Crane's L&M, you get knowledgeable support and the best brands at the best possible pricing. Help us celebrate August 23rd through the 28th. Price reduction on all products that are in stock, great financing, and rebates up to $1,000.
GELG Speed Queen. Brands you can trust, all on sale. Celebrate 65 years with us and save.
Crane's L&M Appliance Center, 3260 Bay Road in Saginaw, where we work with you.
There are many sides to running a business, and with Square,
every side can be connected. So how you sell in person syncs with how you sell online. And how you take payments works with how you pay your team. And when all your tools work together, you can spend more time seeing your bigger picture take shape. See how Square can help connect every side of your business by visiting square.com/go/connect. That's square.com/go/connect.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here to give you the killer deals that you need. You can get tons of deals going on right now from Fat Matt's Barbecue, Joyce's Purple Palette, Kitchen Kings, Cafe 13, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, the Pine River Golf Course, Beer Garden, the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon, and the Bay Regional Fencing Alliance. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Americans were making more money last month and continued to spend, but at a weaker pace. Personal incomes rose 1.1% in July. Consumer spending was up just 0.3%. The lower rate of spending growth can suggest the recovery has lost momentum because of the Delta variant of COVID. Another closely watched number, the core PCE price index, which measures inflation, rose 3.6% in the year ending in July, a sign that prices have been rising. Another report indicates the trade deficit narrowed in July. Apple will allow developers to tell customers how they can pay for apps outside the App Store. The change is part of a tentative settlement of a class action lawsuit filed by developers. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Angie's List is now Angie. Whether you need help with routine maintenance or you're planning your dream renovation, Angie connects you with top local pros who can get the job done right. See reviews, compare quotes, and book hundreds of projects. Plus, when you book and pay through Angie, we'll cover your project up to the full purchase price, plus limited damage protection with our Happiness Guarantee. Check out Angie.com, and for more on the Happiness Guarantee, go to Angie.com/happiness-guarantee.htm.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, it's the Friday Five, and unlike Joe Biden, we don't forget heroes. Celebrating our very own
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And welcome back into the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Bill Hobson sitting in for Art. It's my last day of the week, and so we have food in the studio. At some point, we're going to actually get into it in the moments ahead. We also have Dan Streeter. Not that you're less important than any food item, but I got distracted. We're talking about and celebrating the official launch of the Impact Designs program at Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. And Dan was explaining how it really turns a space into a home, so that if you've saved your money, if you've gone through the life skills training at the rescue mission, and it's time for you and your family to move into your own place, the statistics have proven out that if that place feels like a home, like it has a couch and a kitchen, and it has furnishings and all those little things that we all take for granted, then you're more likely to stay there. long term. And so, Dan, as we kind of round out the picture of Impact Designs, you've got a big warehouse right down right at the main Mission campus in Saginaw. It's pretty heavily populated with donations from all throughout the community. But what are you looking for, and what can people bring in?
So let me just also go back one step and refresh a little bit about what you said. You had mentioned about how our goals are to get people permanently housed. Really, that's not our goal. Our goal is so that way they never have to come back for another shelter stay.
Yeah.
We want to be able to help breathe life into them in a way so then that way they never have to experience homelessness again. But when we go out and talk about the warehouse, now what we need volunteers to come and help get engaged with these families and these individuals. And you can do that by helping with a move-in day or helping to sort items, or as items start to show up from donations, help them get placed into the warehouse. And we have a section for the mattresses. We have a section for the end tables, a section for the tables and chairs. And so it's with design that we're trying to make sure that we have things easily accessible so we can choose when it comes time to do that specialization for each family. We can see here's the myriad of things to choose from. But then we can also use your gently used items. If it is so stained and so dilapidated that you don't want it in your home anymore, then that probably isn't the wise choice to try to bring it down to us, because it's going to basically end up in the dumpster.
Yeah.
We want items that still have meaningful life. We need to treat people with dignity. And so maybe you have something that's gently used, but you're either going to remodel or you just realize your family size is downsized and you don't need that second table in your room. And so those types of things, we'd love to be able to have them and bring a new life to them to help encourage another family.
I'll put it a little more directly than Dan did. If you don't want to use it, don't donate it. If you won't sit on it, throw it away. But if it still has some life left in it, we're not expecting it to be fresh out of the wrapper, but if it still has some life left in it, it can serve a really powerful purpose in someone else's home. And so since the launch back in the colder weather and then the ribbon cutting yesterday, how's this program doing? I mean, are you seeing families come through and go through all the training that it requires? You don't just automatically qualify for Impact Designs, by the way. You have to go through some steps of responsibility and life skill building, right?
Correct. So for all of our guests who are staying at the Mission, we let them know right from the start, at the beginning, you can qualify for an Impact Designs move-in, but all you have to do is just step A, B, and C, engage in the case management. So, and then also helping with attending classes. So you do these types of things to help earn the opportunity for Impact Designs. It's very easy steps for our guests to be able to go through. And then, that time comes for the move-in. We've had 10 individuals or families, 10 households that we've set up so far. To me, the really cool thing, we had some of the poster boards because we've done some of the before and after pictures. And we had them there in the warehouse to kind of show and represent what we've been able to accomplish. There was also a quote from each individual. So to me, one of the neatest quotes of this was, I've moved into my Impact Designs move-in and appreciated it so much, but I have still a week later finding new things that I didn't realize that were here in the move-in.
Yeah.
So that just shows you the depth of the help that's happening.
While we're talking rescue and we're talking restoration, how busy is the Mission these days?
So last year, we averaged about 162 people per night on any given night all through the year. And we're, as we had talked about with the summer match the last couple weeks, that we've seen that number jump up to 197. So last night between the two locations, 197 people needing assistance. And so to also go along with that, I don't know that we formally announced that we successfully did hit the campaign, that there, with the help of many listeners and those here in the region, we were able to raise $70,746.
Wow.
So basically that's 70 in the summertime in August, that 70,000 has now become 140,000.
How good. No, that's outstanding. And all of that goes directly to care. It all stays here, by the way, folks. It's not going to some other organization outside in another part of the country. So well done. And, we've been aware over a number of years, the generosity of the WSGW audience is off the charts.
It really is. And to me, it is very sobering, very awe-inspiring when to think about the mission's been in existence since 1905.
Yeah.
So for 116 years. And it's also, I think, important to hear when you make that investment, you really are helping to change lives, but you're also helping to allow us to be able to do unique programming like this that can truly change. And we're not just providing 3 hots and a cot.
Right.
We're truly helping to rebuild lives.
Yeah, it is a wraparound ministry. All those years, you started when you were like 12 back then, right?
Indirectly, to tell you the truth, on 3rd and Lapeer, when it was just a men's shelter and Dad was the director. Yeah, I got stuck around the mission on more than one occasion as a staff brat and was either playing ping pong with some of the guys that were there in the shelter or bumper pool and things like that.
So, but you go back all 116 years. Right?
I was recreation director back then. Yeah.
We have a Facebook comment here. By the way, I forgot to mention this morning that you can not only listen to the radio show, but you can watch it if you want to. And you talk about a face for radio. I've got the camera turned on Dan Streeter right now. So if you have not yet had breakfast,
don't look.
Give it a minute. But Michelle Lamb says, where do we drop off the stuff if you want to donate?
1021 Burt Street. And so we have the warehouse open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. And you can just drive right there to the back parking lot. You can see the warehouse, 5,000 square foot warehouse with an awning. So even if it's raining, you can come in under the protected awning and stay dry, drop everything off. We've got a staff there that will help unload your vehicle.
And if you've never been down to the mission before, if you're going to Google something, just Google Saginaw Rescue Mission, and that will get you right there. And, if you have a little extra time, plan ahead, and I bet you they'd be happy to give you. Are you doing tours now?
So we would definitely let you see the warehouse as you're there, and we're not doing tours all through the building.
COVID.
Yes.
It won't go away. It just won't leave us alone. Okay, we'll take another break on the program. And when we come back, a special guest joins us in studio as we continue on the Art Lewis Show. Bill Hobson in for Art Lewis on WSGW.
Jim Wilson, this is really exciting. You're offering nice used vehicles at what some say are wholesale prices. What's going on here?
We're having a month-end closeout event. Our goal is to sell 30 used vehicles this Monday and Tuesday, August 30th and 31st.
What's really amazing is the selection. I mean, we're not talking about a few vehicles. You have acres of pre-owned vehicles, all inspected and ready to go.
We have lots of low mileage, like new trucks, SUVs, and cars. Lots of certified pre-owned vehicles with 100,000-mile warranties, several vehicles under $10,000, and a few good old wood haulers.
Escapes, Explorers, F-Series trucks, 4x4s, Chevys, Jeeps, they're all road ready and priced to sell. Jim, is anything being held back?
Absolutely not. All used vehicles are included. It's happening this Monday and Tuesday only, and value received for dollars spent. No one beats these deals.
You'll be amazed by the outstanding selection. You'll be astonished by the incredible savings this Monday and Tuesday only at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store.
Hi, this is Kelsey Grammer. When military service members head into battle, none are expected to face the enemy alone, but many return home and become isolated as they struggle with the visible and invisible wounds of war. It can be difficult knowing how to overcome that challenge and rekindle bonds similar to those formed in the military. Wounded Warrior Project supports these injured veterans through their recoveries by connecting them with fellow warriors and their communities. No one should fight this battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Welcome to a place where everyone deserves to be better protected, where technology has your back, where you can have better protection and keep more money in your pocket, where you can have protection for your car, your home, your phone, and even your digital identity. Welcome to a place where your entire life can be better protected. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
We've all experienced it at one time or another. You know, one of those days, weeks, or months where life happens.
You mean like being unexpectedly laid off and trying to figure out how to make ends meet until I find another job?
Yes.
You mean like my emergency fund getting drained due to car repairs?
Exactly. When you need somewhere to turn to us. We're Members First Credit Union. Let us help you with a Life Happens loan. We're offering super low rates and a variety of terms. Get some peace of mind and money to use for all sorts of things. Emergency home repairs, everyday essentials, bills, utilities, and more.
That would be a life changer for me right now. Thanks.
I was worried about getting my roof leak fixed. Wow, that's huge.
Get started and apply now at mfcu.net. Members First Credit Union. When life happens, it's important to have somewhere to turn. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity. Subject to credit approval. Get up to 0.5 percentage point APR off your loan rate based on your relationship with the credit union.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we continue here on the Art Lewis Show. Bill Hobson sitting in for Art. It's my last day this week. It's last day for everybody, but it's been a pleasure to be behind this microphone. And for those of you who are into watching radio take place, you can also join us on the live stream, WSGW's Facebook page, YouTube page, Twitter account, and Twitch stream, which right now gives you a unique opportunity to see our special guest that we have in studio. It's one of, I think, probably the first times he's ever been behind a microphone, as we welcome in a member of the Broadcast Hall of Fame pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Maurer, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's actually the first time I've been on camera behind a microphone. Let's put it that way. I'm a radio guy. So this is a new thing for me.
It's radio on TV. You know, it's a changing digital world these days.
Right. Yeah, it's a virtual world, unfortunately, right now, because that is how the Hall of Fame is being handled this year. It'll be a virtual induction. Normally, you get to go to a very nice function at Grand Hotel or Grand Traverse Resort or Amway Grand. This year, it was going to be at the MGM Grand in Detroit, and they had to cancel it. And one more time, we're doing things virtually. So my induction will occur on September 15th beginning at 10 a.m. It'll be online. And in addition to myself going in that day, they have different people each day of the week that they're inducting for different awards. The other person going in with me on Wednesday the 15th is Carolyn Clifford, who is one of the prime anchors on Channel 7 in Detroit.
I have a theory about these virtual gatherings for awards, and that they found a cheap way to do it, because you would gladly go there and be part of a gala event.
Well, last year we were supposed to
in
be
New York, right?
In Washington, D.C., and was supposed to be all expenses paid trip to Washington, D.C. to receive the Crystal Award.
Yeah.
Or the
Service
to Community Award, which was for the radiothon that we did for Dan.
Yeah.
And so we didn't get to do that. It was done virtually as well. But we have some beautiful Crystal Awards here, the Crystal Award and the Service to America Award.
Well,
and
we knew that the ceremony wasn't going to take place in person, and but this is the first time that I've been in the studio since you were given that honor of being inducted into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And, Dan and I have had the privilege of working with you for Rescue Mission Radiothon every December for the past, how many years?
I think 15.
15
Yeah,
years.
so
15.
It's just the perfect opportunity to say congratulations, and it's well-deserved. I know the station has probably already done some of its celebration, but Dan, we've got to celebrate a little bit more.
Exactly. Yes. So
really?
we needed to make sure that we brought you some high quality things to eat today. So patisserie. We went over to
really?
patisserie.
How nice! One of my favorite spots.
Enough for you and the staff around here.
Great.
So
I don't know. Have you seen this staff?
Holy cow!
There we go.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
You're on
Wow.
video, Dan. So show everybody. Radio with food is always a
Here
good
we go.
combination.
There we go.
Oh
That's-
my word!
That's the start. Yeah.
Oh dear!
If you want to do it right, you got to go to patisserie.
You want you pass that over the glass here just for?
Wait, Dave gets the first choice.
That's a good idea.
You haven't done anything.
We were thinking about like a plaque or some sort of a crystal trophy, and I thought, what Dave really wants is an overload of sugar. That's probably the best way to do it. So.
Well, I have one of those that won't need to eat the rest of the day.
Right. Well, either that or you can close your office door and pretend you're in a meeting while you're zonked out in there.
Wow, look at there. There's more variety.
You can't smell that on radio.
My goodness. That's substantial.
Those folks at the patisserie do a fantastic job. Thank you very much.
Our listeners must also know when food is going to be visible, because our live stream video numbers just went into double digits for the first time in quite a while. I'm not sure why that is.
These will disappear quickly around the radio station.
I'm well aware of that. That's for sure. This is a great place to bring food if you don't want to take any leftovers home with you. And Dan, before we let you slide out of here, we are in this marketplace. We're blessed with a station that cares about the community. But what about the guy sitting next to you?
So Dave is amazing, and really, Dave reached out to us 16 years ago, and just said, we appreciate so much what Rescue Ministries does, and would you consider having the Radiothon here? And that's what really built this relationship for so many years. And even as I get to talk to other ministries all across the country and other mission directors, and they hear about the opportunity that we have here and how the station has never charged us anything, it just blows them away of this relationship. And it all started with Dave. And so we're so thankful.
Well, thank you.
Then he helped twist all the arms here within the station. So everybody else also is fully behind.
Yeah, it's a full staff commitment, and everybody gets behind it, but especially our audience. Our audience has really supported everything. And then we went from the Radiothon to helping you with the summer match campaign and some other things during the course of the year. And I haven't totaled everything up, but we've been doing this for 15 years, and we're now exceeding in the Radiothon $50,000 a year. That's over a period of 12 hours on one day in December. And then we help with the summer match this year. You went over $70,000, which raised $140,000. If we start adding it up, we're probably somewhere around $750,000 over the years we've been doing it.
Might even be above that a little bit. So maybe we'll have to do some math in time for this year's Radiothon. All right, Dan, thanks for the sugary treats and for stopping in. We have to take a break. We'll come back. I'm going to ask Dave a few career highlights along the way. By the way, you don't have to retire. We're celebrating.
No intention to retire.
By the
Still
way,
at it.
We have a Facebook comment from Mick. He says, I want to donate to the ministry. How do I do that?
Go to r3monline.org. And you can be able to, within a couple clicks, make that donation or send in a check. Either way.
Very good. All that information online at r3monline.org. Dan, thank you. We'll be back with more of the Art Lewis Show in a moment.
Powerball is now powered up. This gigantic jackpot game now has new double play, giving you a second drawing with a guaranteed top cash prize of $10 million after each Powerball draw. How about another jolt of fun? A third draw day, now Mondays too. That's double the chances to win 3 times a week. So plug into Powerball. We're talking big. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $322 million.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
Hi, I'm Chris from Dawson Tire and Wheel, just down the road in Holly, Michigan. We appreciate how hard you work, so when you need us, call the team that will work just as hard for you. Rain or shine, day or night, we will be there for you when you need us most. With over 23 years of experience, we are your #1 source for all your farm tire and wheel needs. Now through August 31st, service calls are only $50 for all surrounding areas. So the next time you need farm tire service, give us a call at 248-215-0807. Dawson Tire and Wheel, helping people grow since 1998.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Michigan Wolverines football is back. The Maize and Blue kick off the new season on September 4th against Western Michigan at 11 a.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW.
We continue here on the Art Lewis Show. Bill Hobson in studio for Art, and Dave Maurer continues with us here. I'm going to hold him back from diving into the treats that were brought in for a couple more minutes. And Dave, as we think about this Hall of Fame honor, what do you flash back to when you think about? Did you flash back to day one when you first, got started, or what comes to mind?
Just so many things and how things have changed over the course of the years, that I've had an opportunity to do so many things. I started out as a one-person news shop and covering everything myself.
Right here?
Burning the candles, on both ends. And, in another station. And then I came here and there were two of us. And we grew at one point where we had 9 people, including 6 full-time and 3 part-time people back in the early 90s. And over the years, it's varied, but I went from being out reporting, which I really enjoyed, reporting and covering things personally and writing the stories, to becoming a manager of news and then programming and operations for the cluster. So things have changed over the years, but one thing that I've done more and more recent years is mentoring people.
Yeah.
I've done a lot with, we've had some people that came in here as interns and they've gone on to great careers in radio, TV, public relations, education, and different things. And I've also helped some people who, like myself, were one-person shops out in the hinterlands in the Upper Peninsula or in the Thumb. And I've had people send me their tapes and send me their writing. And I've done some consulting for them, so that helps them grow. And some of those people I've brought in here, we've hired eventually over a period of time because I helped them develop and grow in their initial position.
It's interesting to realize that in this era of everything going digital and podcast and on demand and that kind of thing, that there still is a place for local community-based radio that does a quality job.
And now more so than ever, because there are cutbacks in television. Print has virtually been wiped out. We do a lot with the community, the Great Lakes Bay region communities, and we're committed to it. And I think we provide a lot of information that you can't get anywhere else without people working very hard to do that. And the other thing that happens, this isn't an award that's just based on the number of years. I've been doing this. I just started my 55th year on August 22nd in radio. And I've been here for 42 years, but it's not based on longevity. It's based on what you do on the air, with your station, with your community, and in your industry. So it's a combination of things that get you into the Hall of Fame. Some of the people that are in there, just if I can name a few names to rub shoulders with: George Blaha, Bill Bonds, Jim Brandstatter, Mort Krim, Sonny Elliott, Bill Harris, Dick Purton. Some of those names you might recognize.
J.P. McCarthy, Ernie Harwell.
McCarthy. There's a lot of others that are in there. Some of them get a Lifetime Achievement Award as opposed to Hall of Fame. J.P. was a Lifetime Achievement, and some other people, Ernie Harwell, and a lot of others. And we've had others from this market too. Bob Dyer is in the Hall of Fame. Les Root, who used to be a news guy in Flint, WFDF, when they had news down there years ago. And Jim Bleicher, who used to be the news director of Channel 12. I mentioned Bill Harris. Both Ken McDonald's, Ken Sr. and Jr. are both in the Hall of Fame. So we have some other Saginaw people have been in it as well. And the other thing that they recognize, one of the things I'm most proud of, is a few years ago, I was named a Paul Harris Fellow by Rotary International for contributions to nonprofit groups and organizations in Northeast Michigan. And, that's when you get the community involvement things. And I've chaired the Law Enforcement and Media Committee back around 2000. We had a crime summit at Saginaw Valley State University, and there were 9 initiatives that were set up in different groups to deal with the crime problem and prevention of crime in the area. And the one that has continued, and I've been the chair of it, since its beginning as a law enforcement and media committee. Other than during the summer, we meet once a month, all levels of law enforcement, prosecutors, FBI, and local media, and we talk about how things are reported, how things are handled, or if we think that there needs to be improvements in the way police deal with the media and deal with getting information to the community. So it's virtually off the record, and we get together and talk about things like that to try to deal with those issues.
Where does the flood rank in the most epic stories that you've covered in a half century?
Yeah, that the flood of in Midland last year was big. It was a 500-year flood, but in a more confined area. While it was devastating what happened with the dams failing and 2 lakes spilling into downriver and into Midland, that was a big story. But the bigger one that I personally covered and was involved in and affected us more was a flood of 86. We had a big flood. We had 19 inches of rain over a very few days, and we had flooding throughout the entire area.
Was that when Vassar went underwater?
Yes, Vassar went underwater. Our transmitter site, the 6 tower array out in Indiantown, the dike broke, and our transmitter site flooded. I got a call in the middle of the night from an announcer who said she had called the engineer, and he said the site was flooded. There's several inches of water in the transmitter building. We were, the AM got knocked off the air, but we still had power out there. And our general manager and program director at the time were at a convention in New Orleans. So I grabbed a sump pump from home, some plastic and bags, and a hydraulic jack, and we headed out to the transmitter. But in the meantime, I had to call around to emergency services because the building was flooded. I said, can we get some sandbags? No, we don't have any sandbags available. And I said, well, look, we're communicating. We need to get this taken care of, get back on the air. And they said, the best thing we can do is we can give you some bags. And you can go down to the Zilwaukee Public Service Department, and they've got a sand pile down there. So I had myself and 2 of my reporters, we went down there, and we filled sandbags and put them in our news cars. And then we knew we couldn't get, because the site was flooded with about 3-4 feet of water, that we wouldn't be able to get into the site, which is a quarter mile or more off the road. So I got a hold of a trucking company in Bay City that came up with a dump truck, and he got halfway into the site. We put all the sand in the dump truck bags. Then we had to walk in water almost chest deep to get back to the transmitter building. We sandbagged the building and put the plastic and unbolted the transmitter and jacked it up with my jack, but the pump wasn't taking the water out fast enough. So by then, in the morning when Wolf Files opened, we got 5 more pumps, brought them out there, and we got back on the air within a few hours. But that flood devastated a lot of homes. That's a radio story, but there were many, many homes that were flooded.
Well, time is working against us here, but I have a feeling that you could do like a daily feature of memories of Dave, memories of Maurer, looking back at all these years, because the stories are just endless.
I have a lot of them. I think that people would be amazed.
Yeah, you got to get them.
You
got to get them out there somewhere. It might be time for the Maurer podcast just to tell his story. So
the biggest story was Midland Nuclear Plant. The story of that. I was involved in that from the time it was announced until the time it was abandoned. That was a long story.
Well, hey, you run the station. I'll gladly blow through the news, and we can just tell stories for a while. But I think I might get in trouble.
Follow the format. Yeah, the program might get upset.
As the guest host, I better mind my manners. So we have to take a break here on the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back to wrap up the 9 o'clock hour and preview the 10 o'clock hour after this.
Art Lewis here for Thalen Honda. As you probably know, many car dealers are advertising, buy now, take delivery when it comes in. I say, why wait? When Thalen Honda has a supply of new vehicles ready for delivery right now during Honda's summer sales event. That's right, buy today and drive it today. And to sweeten the pot, there's 0% financing on select 2021 and 2022 models. Terms and conditions apply. In addition, the 2021 Honda CR-V Passport and Odyssey were named Best Car for the Money by U.S. News and World Report, and 6 2021 Honda models received the IIHS Top Safety Rating. Thalen Honda has new and used vehicles in stock and ready for sale, with more new vehicles arriving every week. Stop into Thalen Honda, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City to look over their inventory, or go online to thinkthalen.com. Test drive the vehicle of your choice, then sit down with a Thalen Honda representative to see how easy it is to make it yours without the wait. The Thalen family in their 3rd generation of ownership, serving your automotive needs for 44 years.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies.
Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week on RocketGrabPlus.com, we not only have 1, but 4 different deals from the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon for half off. You can use the infrared sauna for only $7.50. Get a Versa Spa spray tan for only $17.50. Use the KBL Level 6 tanner for only $16.50. You can also get a $20 gift certificate to the boutique for only $10. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Well, this 9 o'clock hour certainly flew by on the Art Lewis Show. Glad to have Dan Streeter in studio, and congratulations again to Dave Maurer. If there's ever been a worthy recipient of an honor like the Hall of Fame, it would certainly be Mr. Maurer. 55 years in this crazy business. So, he started before there were webcams showing you what radio looked like. Believe it. It's like trying to tell somebody what life was like before email. And I flashed back to a time several years ago where my daughter got into a vehicle that was a bit older. She said, "It's really hot." I said, "Roll down the window." And that window happened to have a crank on it. She had no idea what was going on. So everything makes me feel old. But when I hear Dave talk about, the stories from 68 and beyond, it really, really puts things into a time capsule perspective. So congratulations, Dave Maurer. And don't eat all the pastries before I get to the news. We take a break here for a look at the global and local news on WSGW. And then when we come back in the 10 o'clock hour, Annette Glenn joins us, state representative, and she'll bring us up to speed on what's happening in Midland. That all comes your way next on WSGW.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The death toll has jumped in yesterday's suicide bombings in Kabul. It now stands at 170 and includes at least 13 U.S. service members. The attacks haven't stopped evacuation flights from getting off the ground. The White House says 12,000 people have left in the past day. But Pentagon correspondent Cammie McCormick says some countries have ended their missions.
More U.S. allies have ended their evacuations or plan to do so today, Britain and France among them. But the U.S. military is carrying on, promising not to turn off the spigot, as the chief of the U.S. Central Command said. But now more holding sites are reaching capacity. Ramstein Air Base in Germany may reach that threshold today, which would require evacuees to now go to bases in Spain or Italy.
ISIS claimed responsibility for yesterday's bombings. President Biden vows to retaliate, but says he is not planning to extend Tuesday's deadline for withdrawal. The White House says it's disappointed with a Supreme Court ruling in favor of landlords who haven't been paid during the pandemic. CBS's Weijia Zhang.
In a 6-3 decision, the court blocked the Biden administration from enforcing a temporary ban on evictions, ending protections for millions of Americans who have not been able to pay the rent.
A judge in Florida is expected to rule today on Governor DeSantis' ban on mask mandates. Parents are paying close attention. Correspondent Manuel Bojorquez is in Miami.
Before the school year began this week, Francela Guido Chacon protested and petitioned to make masks mandatory in her 10-year-old daughter's district.
That mask is not a political statement.
Some parents would say your decision shouldn't be imposed upon their child.
That would be correct if there was not a pandemic.
Tropical storm Ida is swirling toward Cuba. The system's expected to strengthen to a major hurricane before it touches down along the Louisiana-Mississippi Gulf Coast Sunday. CBS meteorologist Jeff Berardelli.
It's likely to intensify quickly as we head into Saturday and Sunday. And as it moves on shore, it will likely have wind gusts over 100 miles an hour and storm surge of 7 to 11 feet.
Big loss for Texas Democrats as Republicans advance a bill to tighten voting restrictions. Congresswoman Erin Zwiener was one of the lawmakers who fled to Washington to try to block the bill.
We need comprehensive protections to protect the freedom to vote.
Microsoft warning thousands of cloud customers about a breach. CBS News tech reporter Dan Patterson.
A bug in the Microsoft Azure cloud services allowed hackers to access customer databases, change and delete information, and potentially even read email for, quote, thousands of business customers.
Dow up 90. This is CBS News.
With Indeed Instant Match, just sponsor a post and immediately receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Art Lewis here, and I'm often asked with whom I do business. Well, today I'm going to talk insurance. More specifically, my insurance agent, Tom Sereski. I've been an Allstate customer since 1974. Not only am I happy with the company, but more important is my relationship with my agent. Tom and his staff are knowledgeable and good listeners. They're always providing me the advice and plans I need to fit my situation. And they'll do the same for you. They can protect your home, auto, motorcycle, RV, boat, motorhome, rental property, and classic car. In addition, Tom can provide specialty insurance for event coverage like weddings, as well as pet insurance for your cat or dog. The Sereski Agency also serves the business community with Allstate's supplemental health benefits. Do as I do. Shop locally with a business you trust. I trust Tom Sereski for all my insurance needs. Visit his agency on Tittabawassee Road, just west of the tracks in Saginaw Township. Or call Tom at 989-497-0300. Please be sure and tell him Art Lewis sent you. You're in good hands with Allstate and even better hands with the Sereski Agency.
If you're thinking that the UPS store is only about packing and shipping,
I sort of was.
Here's something else you should know. Mailboxing services. A real street address is just the ing to give your business that professional image.
I hadn't thought about that.
Once you see every ing we can do for your small business, it'll have you rethinking the UPS store.
I think I already have.
The UPS store. Every ing for small business. All in one place.
The UPS store.
The UPS store franchise locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
For more details, check out the UPS store in the Green Acres Plaza in Saginaw or at theupsstore.com/3451.
O'Reilly. It's O Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts, where you can earn double, triple, even up to 5 times O Rewards points on select purchases. Get bonus points on more than 200 items throughout the store, like wiper blades, fuel system cleaners, motor oil, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 70 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. As Saginaw Public Schools prepare to start classes Monday, the Saginaw Police Department is reminding drivers to be extra cautious in school zones. They urge drivers to slow down, pay attention, stay off your devices, obey traffic rules, and drive safely around school buses. Police ask parents and children walking to school to be alert and pay attention to their surroundings. Always walk on sidewalks when available and only cross the street at intersections and designated crosswalks. Parents dropping off and picking up children should stay alert and avoid distracted driving. Don't forget to obey school speed zone limits, follow your school's drop-off procedure, and make eye contact with children who are crossing the street. It's a major court win against the controversial practice of using chalk to mark the tires of parked cars. Here's more from Jim Matthews at the Michigan News Network.
Allison Taylor says the city of Saginaw violated the U.S. Constitution by chalking her car tires and gathering information without a search warrant. The appeals court agreed, saying an exception claimed by the city doesn't fit the law. Saginaw says tire chalking is a signal to motorists that their vehicles are being watched in a 2-hour parking zone, with the city calling it a minimal intrusion. But Taylor's attorney says Saginaw used chalk marks to illegally extract information. Taylor has received more than a dozen parking tickets as the lawsuit now returns to a federal court in Michigan. Jim Matthews, Michigan News Network.
A new donor site hoping to help the formerly homeless settle back into structured life has opened as part of the city rescue mission of Saginaw. Impact Designs opened its doors in February after a 2020 construction and a 2019 fundraising campaign, raising roughly $600,000. Rescue Ministry CEO Dan Streeter says waiting until now to celebrate allowed groups to come together to focus on the importance of the new homeware and furniture warehouse to the community.
Because of COVID, we didn't want to bring a group in together to recognize the donors and to do the ribbon cutting until it was a little bit safer environment. This is a culmination of a couple years of work, even through everything that was happening. It just helps us to be able to enhance the work that we're doing for people in need, the partnership in the community, and we're so excited to be able to start this new venture.
The new site, located just behind the rescue mission on East Genesee, in Saginaw, takes in furniture and home goods like dishes, silverware, rugs, and more that help transform an unfurnished house or apartment into a home. Streeter says when a family moves out of a shelter into a place of their own, statistics have only 50% remaining in those dwellings after a year. But when fully incorporated with an assistance program like Impact Designs, that number shoots up to 95%. WSGW News Time is 10:08.
Hi, it's Mike from West Side Decorating Center. Not sure where to start on your next home decorating project? Let the professionals at West Side help you. We specialize in paint, flooring, and window treatments, and have 3 interior designers that are ready to assist with your next project. We are a 3rd-generation family-owned business celebrating 55 years serving the Great Lakes Bay region. We can't wait to help you, so give us a call at 793-6182 or visit our showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week on RocketGrabPlus.com, we not only have 1, but 4 different deals from the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon for half off. You can use the infrared sauna for only $7.50. Get a Versa Spa spray tan for only $17.50. Use the KBL Level 6 tanner for only $16.50. You can also get a $20 gift certificate to the boutique for only $10. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time is 10:09. The new president of the United Auto Workers covering a lot of ground in a meeting with reporters, including the union's view of COVID-19 on the job. Here's more from John Hewitt.
Despite saying the UAW remains concerned what they will be facing in the coming weeks and months when it comes to the impact of unvaccinated members in the workplace and the growth of the Delta variant, newly named President Ray Curry says the union's position remains the same: to encourage vaccinations, but not mandate them.
Until this is actually a national piece or national mandate discussion, we do not see a reason that we would be participating beyond voluntary efforts of vaccination in each one of our work sites, as, like I said, as we've communicated since last March when the pandemic began.
At this point, Curry says no OEM has even broached the subject of mandatory vaccinations in the workplace. On the subject of chip production and semiconductor availability, Curry says with the infrastructure bill pending in Washington, he hopes a domestic launch of semiconductor production in the U.S. will soon follow.
And that was John Hewitt reporting. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom 752-0790. It's 10:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms at times here for today, with partial sunshine developing a high into the mid-80s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, a slight chance for some rain showers and thunderstorms. Partly cloudy skies develop a low near 70. By Saturday, slight chance for showers and storms early on. Skies become mostly sunny, high of 91 degrees. Then by Sunday, a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, a blend of clouds and sunshine, a high of 91. Monday, mostly sunny skies, a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast.
Currently, it's 69.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome into the 10 o'clock hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW on this rainy Friday. Bill Hobson here sitting in for Art, my final day this week. Doing so, Art will be back on Monday. That's the plan. And we are glad to have all of you with us. We have an important conversation in this hour featuring State Representative Annette Glenn, who's going to bring us up to speed on the flooding litigation as it pertains to that cataclysmic event that unfolded in Midland last year. And we'll say good morning to Annette. How are you?
Good morning, Bill. I am doing well. Rain always makes us a little nervous over in Midland since we're missing some dams, but most of the time we're happy to have that help with our yards and our flowers and our gardens.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that nervousness level because I'm not up to speed on what infrastructure rebuilding has looked like. So is it really a cause for concern these days when we get torrential rains?
It is, because we haven't been missing the dams long enough to know exactly what's going to happen each time. So each time people get kind of prepared and a little bit concerned. But so far, so good since the dams failed. So 2 of the dams are under repair, and then we will have 2 additional ones that need to be rebuilt. So we're probably 4.5 years from all of that being taken care of.
Still that far out. Wow. Why so long?
Well, when you are missing a dam, there's a lot of engineering that has to go in there. And then with this being a series of 4, we've got to make sure that all of that's done. And then I will just say the Infrastructure Committee in 4 Lakes has been doing an excellent job of making sure that they are getting the correct modeling. Everybody talks about these 100 or 500-year floods. And if you look back in Midland, we've had fairly significant flooding in 86 and 96 and 2015 and 17 and 19, and I think I'm missing 1 or 2. So if those are all 100-year floods, then obviously the modeling has changed, and we need to make sure that when we rebuild, that we are building to keep the community safe.
How long has Midland been home for you?
Oh, 23, almost 24 years now.
I ask that because one of the, I think, most impressive aspects of all of this has been the cohesion of that community where people have helped out neighbors, where everybody's come together to pitch in one way or the other. And before we start talking about the pending litigation, I'm just curious, now that we have a year plus removed from the day of the event or the days of the event, Are all the homes put back together? Is everybody back living where they were? What's it look like now this far out?
No. What I find interesting is having been there from day one, when there was mud up to ceilings and driveways missing and houses missing, that when somebody comes through that hasn't seen it, I look at it and can see how much has changed and how much work has been done and how we have fixed so much. But if you get somebody who has not been here since before the dam failure, they will still say it looks like a bomb went off.
Oh, really?
And that just reminds me of how much more we have to do. But every day there are things that happen, and every day there's more going on. Just last week, one of the families that has been helping with Pop-Up Sanford and raising money, when she went to donate that money, she was also the recipient of some funding, because even she, though she's raising money for Sanford, is not back to where she was before the flood. So that is just a huge testimony to how much the community is invested in each other, that they continue to put others first before themselves as we continue this long rebuild process.
Is the majority of the challenge because connected to the fact that insurance companies are denying assistance for this event? Is that part of the story?
There is some of that, and I did sit on the Department of Insurance and Financial Services last term, and so if anybody thinks that the insurance company is denying their claim wrongly, and they think it needs to be looked at, there is a department that we can connect them with and make sure that that gets looked at from I'll just say a clean set of eyes, so that they've got another person without having to hire an attorney to look through that claim and determine whether the insurance company is holding up their end of the deal. So that's part of it. And I think part of it also has to do with the extreme challenge for building supplies.
Yeah.
We saw drywall and lumber and particle board 4, 5, 6, 7 times the price it was in just a period of few weeks. And so assuming that you could afford it at this price, and then it just accelerated, And then I'll just be honest with a lot of people that were home and on unemployment because they didn't have necessarily any control over that with that money coming in and not having to go to work, that allowed a lot of people to do projects at homes that they've been waiting for. So you had the increase of goods, you had a shortage in goods, we had supply line issues, and insurance issues.
It really is this coming together. You know, I was going to use the phrase perfect storm, but I don't want to do that in this context. But it really is this remarkable confluence of factors that come together to have a community that was devastated still reeling from it, even while a lot of the rest of the region and certainly the rest of the state has kind of put it in the rearview mirror. What help is still needed in Midland? Like if there's something that right now other members of the community could do, is there something you could put your finger on that our neighbors are in need of?
Well, I can tell you there are always people that can use a meal. So helping to connect those people that are looking for food assistance is helpful. There's still cleanup that needs to be done. And right now, as kids are getting back to school, helping with school supplies and making sure kids have what they need. Those are all great ways that can help. I can tell you, if you go to the community, you would not know what all they're dealing with. They are so positive and so helpful to each other. And again, putting others before themselves. You have to be there a little bit to understand that some of those that are helping still need help themselves.
Well, we know there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in the litigation world, and I want to get into that part of the story with you. If you hold on for a moment, we will continue our conversation with State Representative Annette Glenn here on the Art Lewis Show as we turn our attention to our friends and neighbors in Midland after this.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio, like where this ad plays. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Yes, radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
There are many sides to running a business. And with Square, every side can be connected. So how you sell in person syncs with how you sell online. And how you take payments works with how you pay your team. And when all your tools work together, you can spend more time seeing your bigger picture take shape. See how Square can help connect every side of your business by visiting square.com/go/connect. That's square.com/go/connect.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Americans were making more money last month and continued to spend, but at a weaker pace. Personal incomes rose 1.1% in July. Consumer spending was up just 0.3%. The lower rate of spending growth can suggest the recovery has lost momentum because of the Delta variant of COVID. Another closely watched number, the core PCE price index, which measures inflation, rose 3.6% in the year ending in July, a sign that prices have been rising. Another report indicates the trade deficit narrowed in July. Apple will allow developers to tell customers how they can pay for apps outside the App Store. The change is part of a tentative settlement of a class action lawsuit filed by developers. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Angie's List is now Angie. Whether you need help with routine maintenance or you're planning your dream renovation, Angie connects you with top local pros who can get the job done right. See reviews, compare quotes, and book hundreds of projects. Plus, when you book and pay through Angie, we'll cover your project up to the full purchase price, plus limited damage protection with our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com, and for more on the happiness guarantee, go to Angie.com/happiness-guarantee.htm.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
A much lighter online poll. Sometimes we got the heavy stuff going on. Sometimes we have to lighten things up. And next weekend, college football starts. And then the NFL the weekend after that.
Wait, that's the Lions.
Yes.
You said you wanted to lighten up the poll.
Well,
they're lightweight.
Don't let Dan Campbell hear us talking about this. Michigan and Michigan State playing the first weekend in September. The Lions starting September 12th. Our poll question is, what team will win the most games this season? Of the Wolverines, of the Spartans, of the Lions? We recognize the Lions have more chances. In fact, have an extra chance this year. 17 games this year. Yeah. Visit our online poll box and find the answer that best fits your prediction for the Lions, Wolverines, and Spartans. Football predictions, WSW.com. Scroll down the homepage and find the online poll box.
And again, the Lions have one more chance to win more games than the two college teams. Will they do it?
No.
Dave has already made his prediction.
I'm on record.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
We continue here on WSGW. The Art Lewis Show is sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial realty needs, call Pinnacle Realty at 989-295-3900. Bill Hobson here, sitting in for Art Lewis. Annette Glenn, state representative, is our guest this hour. And Annette, as we talk about all things Midland and 500-year flood and recovery and the needs that still exist, we certainly have to talk about what's happening in a litigation sense, because there are fingers pointing in a lot of different directions. Can you bring us up to speed on where all of the legality part of it stands?
Oh, I was shocked at how fast the billboards and the legal offices open to offer to settle all of your problems. And you're right, there's a lot of fingers pointing in a lot of directions. So I am excited to see. There's an actual forensic investigation that's going to is happening right now. And having looked at the background, I think we've got an incredible team that's put together. They've got international expertise, and they're going to be looking at everything. They'll be looking at the age of the dam, what the dam owner could or couldn't have done, how the state might have been involved, how the weather related. And I think will give us a really good picture for a couple of reasons. One, it might answer some questions for these lawsuits. It might make some of them go away, and it might make some of them settle. But I think more importantly, if they can tell us what really happened and what really caused this, then that puts us in a great position in Lansing to make sure that we fix those things that were wrong, so that there's nobody else that has to suffer the way Sanford and the surrounding communities have.
How is the investigation handled? And I ask this out of concern over politics becoming involved in it. Is it 100% independent outside firm, or is it somehow appointed by the governor?
It is an independent firm. There was some input into who could be on that, and I have to admit I questioned and pushed until I had some comfort that it would be truly independent. I think at one point in time, it sounded like maybe the dam owner and the attorney general were going to be the ones that were selecting that. And both of those two are involved in some of these lawsuits that have been sued. So that was concern for me. If those that were under investigation were appointing those to investigate, would it be truly independent? And having read the resumes and see where they have investigated, and having talked to the companies that some of these people work for, I do believe this will be independent, and that we'll get some real answers. And then at that point in time, then Lansing, both at the executive level and the legislative level, I have high hopes, a lot of confidence that we will be teaming up to make sure this does not happen anywhere else.
So essentially, is it the state suing Boyd Hydro? Is it the other way around? Is it the citizens suing both of them? What's the starting lineup look like here in this contest?
I know there are a lot. Gosh, I don't even have a list. At one point in time, I think there were over 80 different lawsuits were going on.
Good Lord.
So to try and keep track of all of that, as not an attorney and not being involved in these lawsuits, would be beyond what our office could handle. But there are a lot of groups that are suing the state and are suing the dam owner. And at one point in time, I know there were some lawsuits filed against Four Lakes. But my understanding, I think those have backed out, because if you understand Four Lakes, if you've got people that are damaged and suing Four Lakes, they're going to end up basically suing themselves, because Four Lakes is a representation of both Midland and Gladwin County. So don't quote me on that. I should probably have called them before I said that. But that's my understanding, that for most of that Four Lakes lawsuits have gone away, and the rest are still in process in one form or another. Some of them are very large, some of them are very small. But again, I think the answers will be found in this forensic investigation, and we'll see whether it's simple. My expectation is it will be a complicated answer, that there was more than one thing at play.
Yeah, you're probably right. And here's the great concern on the part of so many people, that the only winners out of all this will be the attorneys and the fees and the time that they burn, and that it's a decade before anybody actually has a check cut to them. And I don't say that because I have any knowledge of what's happening in the Midland litigation, but I watched, for instance, the Flint lead water crisis, the lead poisoning issues, where, a settlement is reached for $600 and something million. The attorneys come in and want, a third of it. And the people end up getting next to nothing. And I know that people hear that number and think, well, that's not next to nothing. Well, in the end, the actual payout back to the individuals in that Flint situation is next to nothing. By the time you get through all of the deductions from that total, believe me, folks, by the time you're done, you don't end up with what you dreamed of. I have fears and concerns for that regarding Midland and those who have been devastated, that it might be 10 years before they ever actually get anything out of this. Are you concerned about the length of time litigation takes, especially with that many different cases?
I certainly hear it. I have talked to a number of people that are involved in the lawsuits, and of course, I'm not taking any position on the lawsuits. I don't have a legal background. And I know they are concerned that they may end up having to sell property, and in some cases it's vacant property, before they will ever have the funds to rebuild. I don't know if you're aware, but we did, both the House and the Senate, introduced 5 bills that should heavily support the area. When we looked at the cost of what it was going to cost to rebuild these homes and to rebuild the dams, initially some of these families were looking at an additional $7,000-8,000 assessments on top of what they already pay in property taxes. And I don't know about you, but that would be incredibly hard for me to come up with an additional $8,000 to stay in the same house that I've been paying on for a while.
Yeah.
And some of these houses in Sanford, we know families 3 and 4 generations. So these homes have been paid off a long time, but now you're retired, fixed income, and you're going to have to come up with $8,000. So I know there was a lot of concern with that. So these bills in Lansing, right now we're looking at attaching $500 million combined. 225 of that would go to rebuilding the dams in Sanford. So their assessments would stay very close to what they are now. Because I know that was a big fear. As for all of this, then we're going to lose our homes on top of this. And so we want to make sure that Midland, Gladwin, and all the areas that were devastated, that people can stay in these homes that they have worked so hard for. And then again, to make sure that we don't have this happen someplace else, there will be a fund for immediate dam issues that need to be taken care of immediately. And then one more of a revolving fund where that money can keep being used and then paid back, so that we do not end up in this situation. So pretty excited about all of that.
Yeah, for sure. I'd also love to hear from some of you impacted by this directly, or perhaps a loved one. If you want to give us a call at 989-752-6111 or 866-790-WSGW. I think it would be instructive to hear from folks who are maybe hearing something on the ground regarding relief, or some sort of maybe there's some progress in litigation, or just what you're looking forward to and what you are hearing. And it might be helpful and instructive to someone else who's wondering what's going on. Because, Annette, I do get the feeling that there's a bit of a vacuum of information after the initial settling of the event, and people were at least able to somewhat regather, regroup, and resettle. Now you start just this waiting game. And as you mentioned, the dollars are real. The need is real. And there are people who are wondering if they'll be able to keep their home. So if you're in that sort of a situation impacted by Midland, give us a call, 752-6111. Now, Annette, when you deal with this on a state level, is there any tension at all regarding what the state is doing to help out Midland? Or has the state contributed the resources needed to this point?
Well, I think there's always more that can be contributed, but I have been pleased with how bipartisan the effort has been, and that it's just been very cooperative with all levels to get Midland taken care of. I chair the Eagle Environment Great Lakes budget, and they have been great to work with. We've had any number of situations where we've had some back and forth trying to figure out how to make the permits work so that people can rebuild safely and so that we meet the criteria. And they have been responsive and very helpful. So that's another thing. If you're running into that issue and you need some help with permits, we would love to have you call our office and have us help you with that. You okay if I give out the office number?
Oh, absolutely.
517-373-1791.
Well, there you have it. The opportunity to reach out to your elected representation and at least get some answers or maybe be connected to the next level. If Annette doesn't have the answers, I'm sure she can track them down for you. And in some cases, is it fair for me to say, Annette, that there may not be an answer right now? These answers may be in flux depending on the question, especially as it pertains to dollars and how am I supposed to do this and that. Are there some unsettled areas to all this beyond the litigation where people just, I don't know, you hate to say it, but it might just have to exert some more patience moving forward?
I think that's 100% accurate. And for example, if we've got somebody we talked about earlier that does not think their insurance company took care of them like they should, that's a little bit of a process. We do go to the Department of Insurance and Financial Services, but you're not going to get an answer in 5 minutes. You're going to submit your the paperwork and all of that legal language that came with your contract with your insurance agent. It's going to take them a little bit to go through that and determine whether they upheld that contract. And because everybody's contract's different, if they've looked at one, it doesn't mean they have seen your situation.
Yeah, and as you say that, I'm shuddering in concern for my fellow neighbors in Midland, because if anybody throughout the pandemic has attempted to visit a Secretary of State office or get some other answers from a state level, it has been nigh to impossible, whatever the subject is. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be anything. The state's been operating at a remarkably sluggish pace when it comes to customer service, as I like to call it. So hopefully you can find some ways to expedite that process. It would be wonderful, and maybe there is one, if they would just set up a victims field office right in Midland.
We did have some FEMA, and the state did have some early on set up at the Loon Stadium. In a normal non-COVID year, I think we would have had FEMA on site. And there's honestly some pluses or minuses. Without FEMA having to travel and being able to use satellite footage and pictures that were submitted, we often ended up with people that actually had money in their bank account within 24 hours. And it would have taken FEMA a lot longer to physically go house to house. So as much as we've not enjoyed having COVID change so many things, in some cases, it did speed up the process for relief and financial help.
Yeah. By the way, through all of this, was your home directly hit?
No, and we'd actually downsized a number of years ago. We were out in Larkin and no longer needed 5 acres and 5 bedrooms when we no longer had any children living with us as they grew up. And we were blessed in the years that we were there that one had not flooded. It had gotten close a couple of times, but it had not flooded. So this one where we're at new is a little bit newer. And so as I went down to the emergency ops center, I left directions to be moving everything out of the basement. And even if we weren't in a floodplain, which we're not, if the pumps get shut off, then you're going to get back up. And so even if the water wasn't hitting us, if they'd had to turn the pumps off, because they were going to burn out, we still could have gotten water. So we were blessed, almost feel a little guilty, almost a little bit survivor's guilt.
Right.
But it did allow me to be gone a lot more and help other people than be home having to take care of those at my own place.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, Annette, last question that I have for you is we look at the litigation issues. Do you know if there is a scheduled, moment in a courtroom? Is there something on the schedule? Do you know when it starts, or is it all right now kind of backroom negotiations between the state and Boyd Hydro and all these different parties involved? Everybody wants to know if there's the big, you can't handle the truth moment coming up in a courtroom somewhere, and we don't hear much about that side of it. Like, when does it happen?
I have not heard anything about any dates being set. And the only way we would honestly hear about those, because we are not part of of those lawsuits, is if we had a constituent call up and give us a deadline or ask us for help or for some information into, whether they could attend, whether it would be virtual, those types of questions.
I have a feeling there are more than a few people in the Great Lakes Bay region who would love to attend, even though it will probably be about as exciting as watching paint dry as you go through the minutia of contracts and all that. But I can't imagine that all this stuff would just happen under the radar and nobody would know when. And hopefully we'll hear some of that soon, because these things tend to drag on for so stinking long. It's got to be brutal to be on the victim end of it all, wondering if it'll be in this decade or the next decade. Will your kids get the settlement check, or will you get to somehow keep the house? Is that a test of patience?
It is. And I can't even tell you how much I look up to the people who have been through this. And as I said earlier in the conversation, they still look out for one another beyond themselves. It has just been amazing to watch. They lift and encourage and take care of each other, neighbors first.
Well said. Annette, thank you so much. Good to talk with you today.
You too. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Annette Glenn joining us here on WSGW. As we head into our next break, what I'd like to do for the rest of this hour is kind of open up the phone lines to all of you. 989-752-6111. Over the course of this week, we have covered a lot of different topics. We've talked about right to life issues. Yesterday's interview with Congressman Dan Kildee was a hot button conversation for a lot of you. We finished, by the way, that interview yesterday, just as we were getting reports of the suicide bombings happening at the Afghan airport. And since then, we haven't had a chance to talk. And then yesterday afternoon, President Biden gave his press conference where he did his thing. He did what Joe does. And so if you have any thoughts about any of that, 989-752-6111, 866-790-WSGW. We will take phone calls till the top of the hour before we move into focus. We're back after this on the Art Lewis Show. Bill Hobson in for Art.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
General RV in Birch Run is your premier RV partner and the destination for RV shoppers. We carry over 100 top brands of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes at our super centers, and new RVs are arriving daily. Our experts can help with all your needs, from sales and financing to parts and service. Plus, we'll get you on the road with confidence. Shop our growing selection of family-friendly travel trailers, spacious fifth wheels, and luxury motorhomes to begin your RV adventure now at General RV in Birch Run off I-75.
Ah, perfect. Hey, golfers, this is Dan Pohl, and I know your golf games aren't always perfect, and that's okay. But if you want the perfect golf experience, then come see us here at the Polecat. Don't wait. Go to polecat.net or give the Pro Shop a call. Remember, if your golf games can't be perfect, your experience can. Ah, perfect.
Powerball is now powered up. This gigantic jackpot game now has new double play, giving you a second drawing with a guaranteed top cash prize of $10 million after each Powerball draw. How about another jolt of fun? A third draw day, now Mondays too. That's double the chances to win 3 times a week. So plug into Powerball. We're talking big. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $322 million.
Hi, this is Kelsey Grammer. When military service members head into battle, none are expected to face the enemy alone, but many return home and become isolated as they struggle with the visible and invisible wounds of war. It can be difficult knowing how to overcome that challenge and rekindle bonds similar to those formed in the military. Wounded Warrior Project supports these injured veterans through their recoveries by connecting them with fellow warriors and their communities. No one should fight this battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
I am one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC,
which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body.
I am living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
We continue on the Art Lewis Show. Bill Hobson in for Art. If you haven't already done so, check out the live video stream on the WSGW Facebook page, YouTube channel, Twitter account, Twitch TV. You can see us, Faces for Radio, not just today, but when Art returns on Monday, that'll still be the case. In fact, you'll definitely want to be watching during Focus coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, as we have some pretty cool visuals that will be taking place in the studio with our friends from Edible Arrangements. We've opened up the phone lines to you at 752-6111 or 866-790-WSGW. Kind of a end of the week, get it off your chest, whatever is bothering you, whatever's troubling you, whatever you want to talk about, ask a question, lend a comment. This is your time till the top of the hour. I can't help but think back to, and I thought about this a lot last night, my conversation with Representative Dan Kildee yesterday in the 9 o'clock hour. And as he and I were talking, we were kind of going back and forth a little bit about this Afghanistan mess and the strategic debacle that it has become. And at that time, when we were talking, there had not been loss of life from any American service member. But I remember asking him something about the timing of all of it and why there was a bulletin sent out from the State Department that everybody needed to get away from the airport, get away from the gates. And it wasn't just a couple of minutes later that the explosions started to happen. The explosions that we all saw evidence of on the news when you got home and started paying attention last evening, because 13 of our brave servicemen were killed, 12 Marines and one, I believe, a Navy medic. And then the president took to the podium to address the issues yesterday. And I'm glad he did that, by the way. He should do that. He needs to do that. That's what the commander-in-chief does. A couple of things, though, transpired during that press conference that made it clear that cognitive capacity matters, and that's not currently what our commander-in-chief offers. And I'm sorry if perhaps you're a big fan of his, perhaps you're not. I think across the board, that reality and that realization is coming to everybody. You'll start to hear fewer and fewer staunch defenders of President Biden's ability to lead. And by the way, I'm not even saying that as a partisan statement. I'm saying that as an observer and someone whose heart is saddened by what we have seen transpire. That administration is teetering. And it's all fun and games. You know, the old saying is it's all fun and games till somebody loses an eye back when you're playing with sharp objects as a kid. Well, in this case, it's all fun and games until you start losing lives. And that's what's happened. And the lives were lost for a number of reasons. And I'm not going to go into a hour-long political analysis or military diatribe about how this was handled. But as I said to Congressman Kildee yesterday, it seems to me like the order of events should have been, you get all of your people out first. Then you remove or destroy the equipment you don't want left behind, and then you withdraw your troops. And for reasons that boggle the mind, we chose to do that in the opposite order. And along the way, we decided to outsource, not to the Pinkerton security guards that you see at arenas, but we decided to outsource the security of the airport to the Taliban. And I can't wrap my head around how that happens. And then we were shocked, I tell you, when it didn't work out so well. When somehow that highly trained and super reliable security force, the Taliban, managed to let some suicide bombers through the perimeter. And folks, I find that to be beyond the pale, reprehensible. And by the way, it wasn't just our servicemen who were killed. There were, 100 people whose lives were ended while they were trying to leave a country. And they went to the only airport that was possible because for some reason we had also abandoned the other one, Bagram. And at the Bagram Air Force Base, there were roughly 5,000 prisoners, including a maximum security wing of the worst of the Taliban. And when we abandoned that airport, and that air base, I should say, guess who was the first to be released? Yeah, everybody who was behind bars. Folks, there are some big questions to be answered. There's great sadness amongst most Americans today, and a lot of prayers being offered on behalf of the grieving families. Because while our loved ones do enter into service, knowing that their lives are on the line, well, you would sure like to think that those in charge and the command over them would be thinking clearly, listening to advice, and deciding wisely. And none of those things appear to be happening.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751. Sound Asleep Lab is the only freestanding physician-owned accredited sleep lab in mid-Michigan. We do home sleep and in the lab sleep studies. The most cost-efficient sleep lab with average cost less than half when compared to others. With 4 convenient locations in Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, and Mount Pleasant, with 4 full-time practitioners dedicated to treatment of sleep apnea and other sleep disorders. Appointment usually within 1 to 2 weeks. Please discuss with your primary care provider or call 989-792-2792 for appointment. 792-2792. Or check us out at soundasleeplab.com.
Ad paid for by CompleteCar.com. This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
0-2, swing and a miss. Fastball up in the strike zone. Wow, that fastball at the top of the strike zone just flies. 8, the strikeout for Wsgw.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
We continue on the Art Lewis Show, getting your thoughts as we wind down this week. Mark is in Bay City. Hi, Mark. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Bill. How are you today, sir?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. I watched the news conference on Biden yesterday, and if I was an Afghan, I would not be taking a bus to get to the airport. Biden put a target on those people's back, saying that the Taliban was given a list of names to stop at checkpoints. I would say Sunday is going to be the last day for any Afghans to get out, since it's going to take 2 days for troops to be deployed, and we're out on the 31st. Sunday is going to be a bad day in America, I think.
I'm afraid
your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right, Mark. And I'm glad you mentioned that. I was going to talk about the insanity of this list that was provided at Checkpoint Charlie to get through these different stopping points along the journey to the airport. In no other context can I fathom handing a list of names to the enemy. And the problem is, for some reason, our leadership decided to stop considering the Taliban as the enemy. And I don't know how gullible you can be. I don't know how slow mentally you can be. All of those decisions, by the way, are not made individually by the commander-in-chief. Many of them are made by secretaries and generals. And so they would come to the president and say, here's our best recommendation, which is even a little more frightening, Mark, because that means that the other leaders thought this was a good idea as well. Right. And to me, that is an indictment on the entire structure of it all. And I don't know. I don't want to say this incorrectly. I don't want to say it unfairly. I don't know if everybody in those positions of military leadership has just been put there under this administration, or if they're carryovers from the Trump administration. I really don't know. But it just feels like a complete upheaval of common sense has taken place, where just a couple weeks ago, General Milley was talking about the importance of getting past the military's white privilege and other things that make no sense when you're talking about the strength of defense. And it seems like they had their eye off the ball, I guess is the best way I can put it.
Well, what I don't understand is Ned Price went on TV the other day and was saying that in the first 7 months, they got over 2,000 people out, Afghans that wanted to leave, and all the paperwork's in order. Since then, 100 and some thousand people have left Afghanistan. What protocols are in place for paperwork, since it took 7 months to get, the 2,000 out? What are we doing now? I mean, I understand they have to go, but Jen Psaki says we're down to 1,000 individuals that want to leave the airport now. I don't believe that number, because we haven't known how many people wanted to leave to begin with, but we're saying now it's 1,000 as of yesterday.
Yeah, nobody with the ability to think clearly believes that, not for a second. And my sadness extends not only to the families of the fallen heroes that we lost, but also to the Afghans who are not going anywhere and are now going to be on the receiving end of a brutal takeover by the Taliban. This whole thing is incredibly ill executed. I'm all for getting our troops out of a 20-year war, but you got to do it better than this. This is horrendous, and it's costing lives. And by the way, it's also costing America on the global stage its position of leadership. We'll take one final break and come back to wrap up the hour. Take one more call after this on WSGW.
Have you heard about all the benefits of joining DCECU? The great rates, the member give back. Membership sounds amazing. Too bad you're not eligible, right? Wrong. It's easier than ever to join.
I thought only immediate family of DCECU members could get in, but I was wrong. My Uncle Earl is a member, so now I can be a member too.
I'm eligible through my support for community organizations. I didn't even know that was possible.
I didn't realize that employees of nearly 100 companies can join DCECU. I was able to become a member because I work for one of them.
If you're not a member, you can be. Find out how at dcecu.org/join. Membership eligibility required. While member giveback rebates and rewards occur with great regularity, this credit union benefit is not guaranteed. Not all loan and deposit products are eligible for member giveback consideration. Some limitations apply. Insured by NCUA.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Well, we are winding down a very busy week here on the Art Lewis Show. Coming up after the news at the top of the hour, we enter into our focus time celebrating with one of our great area businesses, Edible Arrangements. And word on the street is there might be some edible arrangements in the studio. I'm just saying, that's why we have the camera cranked up. One never knows what sort of fun you can enjoy here at WSGW. Well, at least you can enjoy it virtually. I may very well enjoy it literally. And by the way, I want to send out a special get well wish and prayer for my friend Rod, who is in the hospital and going through some tough stuff. So Rod, we love you. We're praying for you. Get better. Eat the food, get your strength back, and get on out of there as soon as you can, my friend. You have a lot of people pulling for you, that's for sure. And as we head into this weekend, we know that classrooms are repopulated. We know that people are heading back to work. We're starting to get into that fall rhythm of life again. So enjoy this weekend. For many of you, it may be the last one before the school schedules kick into full gear. We will head to the newsroom now for an update on what's happening around the world and around the region, and then we're back with Focus here on WSGW.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. A Florida judge right now is in the process of issuing a ruling that could have pandemic reverberations far beyond the Sunshine State. It's a challenge to Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, who has banned mask mandates.
Parents are in the better position to make the decision about whether their kids should be wearing the mask in school, particularly young kids.
Around a dozen Florida school districts have imposed mask mandates in defiance of the governor. Now to Afghanistan. A crowd at Kabul's airport undeterred by yesterday's suicide attack that killed scores of people, including 13 American service members. The Pentagon now says it believes there was just one explosion, not a second one. Continuing, the U.S. wants to complete its withdrawal by next Tuesday. Other countries completed their efforts today. President Biden has vowed retaliation for the ISIS attack. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
We've talked to military analysts who suggest that it's possible to prosecute a counterterrorism effort against ISIS-K from the air, but you need intelligence assets. You need to know where these individuals are. You need to know their leadership structure. The president said yesterday he has ordered a strike on ISIS leaders.
Coastal Louisiana is bracing for some bad weather, a tropical storm that could become a hurricane.
Leaders are worried about the forecasts that show Ida getting stronger and quickly.
The Gulf is absolutely ripe in terms of the conditions for rapid intensification of this storm.
Governor John Bell Edwards. The National Hurricane Center expects Ida to be a major hurricane hitting southeast Louisiana. People are getting ready to hunker down.
We have our normal generators. We have a lot of water. We have everything we need, and we're just going to pray for the best.
Others are getting out, and more evacuation orders are expected. Dave Cohen for CBS News, New Orleans.
The Federal Reserve is poised to ease back on its low interest rate policies this year. Chairman Jerome Powell says it'll happen if hiring continues to improve with an eye on inflation.
The spike in inflation is so far largely the product of a relatively narrow group of goods and services that have been directly affected by the pandemic and the reopening of the economy.
Says the Delta variant is a near-term risk and prospects are good for returning to something closer to full employment. With food prices higher, there's this taste of reality from CBS's Elise Preston.
A new OnePoll survey found the average American wastes about $1,500 on food they will never eat. That's about a fifth of your grocery bill every time you shop.
Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 241 points. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
So, what do you think?
You nailed the custom cabinets.
And the countertop is perfect.
It makes the space.
I'm in love with my kitchen again.
Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery showroom and design makes your dream spaces a reality with custom cabinetry and a variety of countertop options like Corian, granite, and quartz, offering both in-store and in-home personalized consultation. We're with you from inspiration to installation. Your dream space is just a phone call away. PremierKitchenandBathGallery.com.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. The only way this pandemic will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
There are many sides to running a business, and with Square, every side can be connected. So how you sell in person syncs with how you sell online, and how you take payments works with how you pay your team. And when all your tools work together, you can spend more time seeing your bigger picture take shape. See how Square can help connect every side of your business by visiting square.com/go/connect. That's square.com/go/connect.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 71 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. A woman fed up with how Saginaw tracked parking violations has won a major decision from a federal appeals court. Allison Taylor says Saginaw violated the U.S. Constitution by chalking her car tires and gathering information without a search warrant. The appeals court agreed, saying an exception claimed by Saginaw doesn't fit. Saginaw says tire chalking is a signal to motorists that vehicles are being watched in a 2-hour parking zone. The city calls it a minimal intrusion, but attorney Philip Ellison says Saginaw used chalk marks to illegally extract information from Taylor's car. Taylor received more than a dozen parking tickets. The lawsuit now will return to a federal court. 51 small rural hospitals in Michigan will be receiving grants from the Health Resources and Services Administration. The grants, totaling $13 million, are to support COVID-19 testing and mitigation. Rural hospitals with fewer than 50 staff will be able to use the money for testing equipment, personnel, temporary structures, or education. Mitigation strategies must be part of the CDC community mitigation framework, including education, contact tracing, communication, and outreach. Each hospital will receive about $257,000, which must be used within 18 months of receiving it. The Michigan Center for Rural Health will distribute the money to the hospitals. Hospitals receiving the funding, including Ascension Standish, McLaren Central Michigan, McLaren Thumb Region, and Mid-Michigan Medical Center Gladwin. Who is most likely to spread COVID-19? We get more from health reporter Dr. Deanna Lights.
Individuals with COVID-19 are most likely to spread the virus to close contacts 2 days before the onset of symptoms to 3 days after symptoms appear. And the risk of transmission is highest when patients had mild or moderate disease compared to those who were asymptomatic, according to a new study from the University of Georgia. Researchers say the findings provide further evidence for using interventions like contact tracing, masking, and vaccines.
Dr. Deanna Lights, the Michigan News Network.
WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? How do you get in front of companies or get a patent? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
Call today for free information.
Call 800-217-4380. That's 800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
WSGW News Time is coming up on 11:09. A new assistance program aiming to help the formerly homeless stay on their feet celebrates its grand opening in Saginaw. Here's more from Rick Antonio.
As an addition to the City Rescue Mission on East Genesee Avenue, Rescue Ministries CEO Dan Streeter says Impact Designs is looking to help fill unfurnished apartments or homes with necessities that many guests leaving the shelter may not have.
Families, as they move out of emergency shelter, trying to move into a new apartment, they don't have all the materials that they need. It might be the fact that they don't have a sofa. They might not have bed for their kids. And so what should be an exciting opportunity turns into depression. We wanted to help families and individuals who have been staying in shelter with all the material goods they need to now make home happen.
He shared that the addition has been in the works since 2018 with a fundraising campaign raising $600,000 beginning in the fall of 2019 and construction efforts continuing through much of the pandemic. The initial goal of the program is to assist 52 households annually, but Streeter says the long-term goal is to be able to assist any family residing in any shelter in Saginaw County. The Impact Designs donation warehouse can be found just behind the City Rescue Mission, and a full list of needed items can be found at r3monline.org. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms at times here for today, with partial sunshine developing a high into the mid-80s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, a slight chance for some rain showers and thunderstorms. Partly cloudy skies develop a low near 70. By Saturday, slight chance for showers and storms early on. Skies become mostly sunny, high of 91 degrees. Then by Sunday, a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, a blend of clouds and sunshine, a high of 91. Monday, mostly sunny skies, a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast.
Currently, it's 70.
Now, It's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, I hope you're hungry, because as we head into our focus time today on this Friday, we are going to feature a local business that is going to take care of those hunger pains if you have them, and do it in a healthy way. From what I understand, we've got a lot of ground to cover and a lot of fruity goodness to address here in the moments ahead as we celebrate with our friends from a very, I think, a unique business. It is called, and you've seen it, I know you've seen it, it's called Edible Arrangements. And Lee Ochoa is in studio with us, along with her very capable assistant. And if you're watching us on the live stream, you can see both of them. And we're talking about a unique business that you've been in for quite some time, Lee, correct?
Absolutely. It's been 15 years since we opened in 2006.
15 years.
Yeah.
What got you into Edible Arrangements? What a unique franchise to get into.
It was, and there was very little brand awareness. In fact, I just randomly happened to be sitting at a doctor's appointment, and a pharmaceutical rep brought an arrangement in. So that was my first exposure to Edible Arrangements. And I wanted to take one to my nephew's graduation party as open house. So I started looking around for where I could find one, and I couldn't find one close by. Had to drive all the way to Grand Blanc. So that was kind of how it all started. I wanted to be able to buy locally, something that I was excited about.
Okay, so there are some people in our listening audience who are uncertain of what it is we're describing.
Okay.
How do you describe Edible Arrangements?
Well, I would start out by describing it as a floral arrangement, but it's made out of fruit, so it's edible. So you picture a flower arrangement, but it's just made out of fresh cut fruit. We cut everything fresh daily, and we have the arrangements, but then we also have platters. We have boxes of chocolate dipped fruit. And then we've recently added some new products, cheesecakes and brownies, and we bake fresh cookies in the store every morning.
Oh, now you're singing my song.
Yeah.
Cookies and fruit is the combination we're looking for here.
And we have those. We have platters that come with cookies and fruit and all kinds of neat things.
And so most often, what's the clientele? What are they looking for? Is it a business thing where you're sending a special thank you gift to somebody, or is it celebrations, or is it all of the above?
It's really all of the above. It's really any occasion that you need, well, kind of twofold, any occasion you need a gift for. So whether it even a sympathy gift, we do a lot of arrangements when people need a sympathy gift. We do birthday celebrations, anniversaries, a lot of just because we're well known for the husband that's in trouble that needs to get a little I'm sorry gift. They show up occasionally, and we always try and help them out. But really any occasion you need a gift for. But then with our edible to go line that we've just introduced with the cheesecakes and the brownies, it's kind of, if you just want to treat yourself, if it's just a just because treat for yourself, we've got the fresh fruit smoothies that we're doing now as well. And our smoothies are phenomenal. Everything, it's fresh fruit, never frozen, nothing artificial in it. So it's ice and fruit. And then if you want it sweetened, we sweeten it with agave, and everything's completely natural.
An actual authentic fruit smoothie without all the sugar sounds really quite good, actually.
They are. They're very good.
And so when the husband's in trouble, I got to write down a couple notes here real quick just to make sure. And so you're talking about cheesecake and brownies. So you're taking away just my pure fruit thoughts and now bringing it into a true treat.
Right.
How's business?
Business is well. We went through some challenges last year, obviously with COVID, when things were shut down. We were slow for a little bit, but I think people still wanted to be able to celebrate special occasions, and they couldn't go out to dinner and they couldn't go golfing. So they really relied on us to kind of meet that need. And I think we have done a good job doing that, and our business is reflecting that. We still, even as we start to come out of the quarantine where people can get out and go to dinner, they're still thinking of us and letting us help them celebrate those special occasions.
And you're you're offering delivery as well as in-store pickup, correct?
That's correct. We do offer delivery. We have 2 refrigerated delivery vans. So when it's 90 degrees out like it is this week, the fruit, we send the drivers out with the route and everything stays at a nice 40-degree temperature while they're making their deliveries. So it'll be fresh when it arrives. But we do deliver.
I was looking over some of the stats that were provided to me regarding your business. Over 1,000 orders on Mother's Day weekend.
It was, yeah.
The fruit's flying everywhere.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Very challenging. The holidays are challenging for us, but so much fun. We have a lot of people that come back and help us, former employees, and then we work with Teen Challenge. They send people out to help us.
Oh, good.
So we'll bring in 20 people to work production in the store, washing and cutting and prepping fruit, dipping things in chocolate, and then we'll usually bring in 10 extra delivery drivers. So we'll be renting a delivery vehicle, so that we have usually 15 drivers out on the road on Mother's Day weekend.
And you also have a unique partnership with Hidden Harvest. I love this part of the story.
We do, and I love that part of the story too. We were in business for a few years, and we have a lot of surplus produce. Strawberries were very, very picky, just appearance-wise, what they look like. So if we have a strawberry that has a blemish on it, we won't use it. So we had all of this very good fruit that was just getting thrown out, and there was so much of it. And I don't even know how it happened. I heard about Hidden Harvest, how they rescue the food, and then they make sure that the food pantry or the soup kitchen and the all the different organizations in the area that help feed the needy, they take that food and repurpose it. And so we started donating to them.
And they do it quickly, which is important for what you're discussing.
They do. They pick it up daily at our store, also in refrigerated delivery vehicles. And then they take it and they distribute it so quickly. We've got tons of strawberries and then also pineapple. When we cut our shapes, there's a lot of extra pineapple left. That's great for fruit salads. We got a phone call from Hidden Harvest one time telling us about a 6-year-old child who got to experience pineapple for the first time in their life because of the pineapple that we had donated to the daycare center where the child was. And it was just a really neat experience to find out that we helped, that child experience something that hopefully that they'll love and continue to eat healthy.
Yeah, for sure. They can fall in love with fruit in a fun way.
Absolutely.
We have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk with all of you about a very special event happening tomorrow with edible arrangements involved and some Keith Urban tickets and some other giveaways. So there's a lot of good stuff to pay attention to in the moments ahead as we continue on Focus after this on WSGW.
Jim Wilson, this is really exciting. You're offering nice used vehicles at what some say are wholesale prices. What's going on here?
We're having a month-end closeout event. Our goal is to sell 30 used vehicles this Monday and Tuesday, August 30th and 31st.
What's really amazing is the selection. I mean, we're not talking about a few vehicles. You have acres of pre-owned vehicles, all inspected and ready to go.
We have lots of low-mileage, like-new trucks, SUVs, and cars. Lots of certified pre-owned vehicles with 100,000-mile warranties, several vehicles under $10,000, and a few good old wood haulers.
Escapes, Explorers, F-Series trucks, 4x4s, Chevys, Jeeps, they're all road-ready and priced to sell. Jim, is anything being held back?
Absolutely not. All used vehicles are included. It's happening this Monday and Tuesday only, and value received for dollars spent. No one beats these deals.
You'll be amazed by the outstanding selection. You'll be astonished by the incredible savings this Monday and Tuesday only at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store.
You never know when a power outage will strike. That means you need a power source you can depend on to keep the lights and other electrical appliances working. That's why you need a Honda generator. Whether you're camping or at home, you'll never be left in the dark with these efficient, reliable sources of power. Rugged Honda engines assure you hours of uninterrupted power. Put an economical, portable Honda generator to work for you, whether it's for recreational use or as a source of emergency standby power. Take charge of any situation and let a powerful friend shed some light on things. Pour on the juice with a quiet, reliable Honda generator and get the power you need when you need it. Honda generators available now at Wolfiles, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
RocketGrabPlus.com everyone. This week on RocketGrabPlus.com, we not only have 1, but 4 different deals from the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon for half off. You can use the infrared sauna for only $7.50. Get a Versa Spa spray tan for only $17.50. Use the KBL Level 6 tanner for only $16.50. You can also get a $20 gift certificate to the boutique for only $10. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
At CDW, we get the people who need to sign here aren't always here.
Tell me about it. I'm always chasing down signatures. I go through pens and shoes like chewing gum.
Sounds like you need Adobe Sign orchestrated by CDW to securely automate e-signatures and workflows across devices from anywhere. Integrating with existing tools, Sign can save your organization time, money, and miles.
Thank goodness I can finally take these shoes off.
No. Back on. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Adobe Sign.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
We continue on Focus with our friends from Edible Arrangements. Leo Choa is in, and there's a big event happening tomorrow, basically in your parking lot. So let's give the location first, and then we'll sell the soap on the event itself.
Okay, we are located at 2910 Tittabawassee Road. We're just a little bit east of Bay Road, so right on Tittabawassee.
You're just right next to Bob Evans, the AT&T store, the outdoor store.
Cabela's, yeah, we're right in.
You can't miss it.
Yep, right in between McDonald's and Bob Evans, right out by the road. Yep.
And what's happening tomorrow?
We are having our 15th anniversary celebration. So we've been here for 15 years, and we just wanted, with everything that's been going on, we just wanted to kind of take a day and celebrate with the community and with our staff and with our business partners. And we have so much planned. It's so exciting, everything we've got
Give
going
me
on.
the 3 highlights.
Oh, 3 highlights.
Yeah.
The Saginaw County Animal Care and Control is holding a pet adoption event. So they will be there along with Magoo's, who will be handing out
There's actual pets ready to go home with
ready
you
to
tomorrow?
go. That's what we're hoping. They're going to bring
boy.
some. I
Look
know they're
out.
bringing dogs. I don't know about cats, but I know they're bringing
Nobody
dogs.
wants cats, but they certainly might want dogs.
So there's going to be dogs there. So you can come out even if you just want to pet the dogs, but the dogs will be there for an adoption event.
Oh, boy.
We have a bounce house. The Heritage High School cheer team will be there doing face tattoos and manning the bounce house for us. We're going to have free hot dogs, and we'll have all kinds of treats available in the store. We've got lots of prizes and giveaways. We have a prize wheel, and we have some incredible prizes.
Yeah, and you mentioned to me off air something about tickets to Keith Urban.
They're going to be giving away 2 sets of tickets to the Keith Urban concert tomorrow, and that was brought to us by Fabiano Brothers. They've donated the tickets, so we're super excited about that.
Well, first of all, what are the hours of the promotion of the event?
From noon until 4.
Okay, so get your schedule set accordingly, ladies and gentlemen. And if tomorrow is like every other day, it'll be a warm one, so you can go there and get a nice cool smoothie. You can spin the wheel, win some prizes, and all sorts of fun stuff. As you celebrate 15 years and look back on it, are you amazed that it's still going strong?
I am, and then I'm not. Because after 15 years, I still love our product. I'm still just as excited about our arrangements as I was 15 years ago. The company does a great job with keeping our product relevant and with introducing new products. And I just really love our product. So I guess I'm not surprised that we're still here. I know we've had some challenges and with the economy and obviously the COVID last year.
Yeah.
But we just have a very exciting product, and I still love it.
Well, you better. You're working at it very hard. I would hope that it's something that you really enjoy doing.
I do.
Most popular item ordered and delivered is what?
Probably it would be a delicious celebration fruit arrangement.
Okay.
So that's the one that's kind of a go-to, and it's one that we've had since day one. since the company opened. It's just standard. It has all the nice fruits in it. That's probably our most popular item.
And it has the beauty of a bouquet of flowers.
It does.
I've seen that before. It's really, really sharp.
It does. And people will say to me, oh, I don't want to be the first one to take a piece.
Right.
But as soon as that one
Then it's
piece,
gone.
it's gone. Nobody holds back.
And roughly speaking, so we can give a framework to our audience, what would that cost maybe to have it delivered within a 5-mile radius?
Well, two great things to keep in mind. If you order a day in advance, the delivery fee of $14.99 is waived.
Oh, my goodness.
So you can get free delivery. And we deliver Midland, Bay City, all of Saginaw.
You're going to go like to Midland for free?
We do. We go to Midland
Wow.
for free. Now, if you need a rush and you need something the same day, there is a $9.99 delivery fee. But typically, if you know in advance that you're going to need it, you order it. We're not charging delivery right now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Which is
You don't
great.
get gas for free, do you?
I don't get gas
Well,
for
then
free
you're
now.
eating that, no pun intended, and that's really kind of you. And so what's that arrangement roughly cost?
Arrangement would run without chocolate or with chocolate, you're probably in the $45 to $55 range. But we do have arrangements that start at $21.99. So we have introduced a product line at a lower price point, and we have beautiful arrangements that are great for 1 to 2 people for $35.
If you're giving me the option of chocolate or no chocolate, that's really not that difficult of a decision.
It's
to
really
make.
not,
We're
is
going
it?
right to the chocolate.
I agree. I agree.
Well, the big event at Edible Arrangements is tomorrow, Saturday, noon to 4, right there on Tittabawassee Road. The location is right. It's attached to the AT&T store, right next to Bob Evans and McDonald's. You know where it is. Come over there and celebrate. You may win some great prizes, and at the very least, come and shake Lee's hand and say congratulations on being a local business for 15 years. That's a big deal. So congratulations, and thanks for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you both in studio. Way to keep Mom in shape. You did a great job, Michaela. That's really good producing on your part. We have to take a break. We'll come back to wrap things up here on Focus on WSGW after this.
Hi, it's Mike from West Side Decorating Center. Not sure where to start on your next home decorating project? Let the professionals at West Side help you. We specialize in paint, flooring, and window treatments, and have 3 interior designers that are ready to assist with your next project. We are a 3rd-generation family-owned business celebrating 55 years serving the Great Lakes Bay region. We can't wait to help you, so give us a call at 793-6182 or visit our showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
Choose the proven performance of the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, featuring high-yielding Extend Flex soybeans and the exceptional weed control of XtendiMax herbicide with Vapor Grip technology. Elite genetics, triple herbicide tolerance, flexibility that delivers results, backed by 25 years of innovation. That's the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, the system of choice. XtendiMax is a restricted-use pesticide. Always follow stewardship practices, all pesticide label directions, and check with your state pesticide regulatory agency for specific restrictions in your state.
Channel seedsmen don't just sell soybean seed. You can trust them to understand your fields and place Channel soybean products to perform. With the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, including triple stack Channel Extend Flex soybeans, you can be confident you're getting the excellent weed control you want and high yield potential you need to make the most of the season. Find a seedsman in your area for recommendations for your fields. Check with your state pesticide regulatory agency for specific restrictions in your state. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Feel like summer's flying by, but you still want to find some great family fun? The Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and WSGW remind you there's still tons of fun as part of Saginaw Celebrate Summer, presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. Concerts, movies, art, nature activities, and more throughout Saginaw and the riverfront area, with many of the events happening for free. Saginaw Celebrate Summer immerses you in the vibrancy of the community while enjoying entertaining cultural and educational activities. Saginaw Celebrate Summer, presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Arts Saginaw. Plus, daily updates here on WSGW.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Well, before I say farewell for the week, let's bring in Steve Anderson from Baird & Company for a ticker update. Steve, how are you?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, sir. How does the market look as we wind down a rather tumultuous week on the global stage?
Well, the global stage has been rather tumultuous, and the markets have been kind of ho-hum thinking about it, and today they're up. Dow Jones Industrial Average is ahead by 218 points, putting it at 35,431 on volume at 204.